This is TomoNews for Friday, March 16th. Identical twins unidentical after one spends a year in space. This is Mark and Scott Kelly, both NASA astronauts and identical twins. Well, at least they used to be. Following his year in space, scientists compared the DNA and RNA of Scott Kelly with his identical twin brother Mark via whole genome sequencing. They found that 7% of Kelly's DNA had changed into so-called space genes. As well as that, his immune system, bone formation, and eyesight all went under changes during his year in space. Telomeres, caps on chromosomes, typically shorten as a person ages. Kelly's lengthened but returned to normal 2 days after he returned to Earth in 2016. So, given a chance, would you spend any time in space? Crazy. Hell hath no fury like a crazy girlfriend who thinks she's being scorned, and this dude learned that the hard way after almost being hacked to death in his own bedroom. Gamer Alex Lovell spent hours on end playing and trading for a survival video game, which didn't sit well with his girlfriend, Emily Javier. Furthermore, Javier had recently spotted a Tinder app on her boyfriend's phone, scratches on his back, and red hair in the shower, which in her head meant he was cheating. Rather than confront him, she planned his demise and bought a katana at the mall. Her rage reached its tipping point on March 2nd when Lovell came home and completely ignored her. Once he fell asleep, she pulled the sword from under the bed and aimed it for the head. Luckily, Lovell got hit with the blunt end the first 2 times and woke up in time to defend himself. The 29-year-old claims years of watching martial arts movies helped him Wing Chun his way to survival, though not without getting hacked in a few places. Eventually, he managed to grab Javier by the arms and told her he was going to die unless she called for help. That broke her murderous spell, and she called 911. Officers found Lovell curled up in the blood-splattered bedroom with life-threatening injuries and rushed him to the hospital. He's since had his fingers reattached and several other body parts stitched up, and will live to game another day. Javier, meanwhile, is in jail and facing a charge for attempted murder. So all in all, it was a pretty happy ending? Pedestrian bridge collapse at University in Miami. A newly installed pedestrian bridge collapsed on Florida International University's campus Thursday afternoon. The collapse occurred at about 1:30 p.m., and as of 5 p.m., at least 8 vehicles were flattened and trapped under the collapsed bridge. According to authorities, at least 9 people pulled out of the rubble were immediately hospitalized. 4 people sadly didn't make it, including a student from Florida International University. Florida State Governor Rick Scott said that the state would do its best to determine the cause of the collapse. FIU had claimed the $14.2 million cable-supported bridge was an innovation, as the construction techniques used were intended to expedite the work and minimize disruption of traffic. The project was a collaboration between MCM Construction and FIGG Bridge Design. Florida Senator Marco Rubio apparently has some inside information and tweeted, "The cables that suspend the Miami bridge had loosened and the engineering firm ordered that they be tightened. They are being tightened when it collapsed today." The 950-ton bridge was supposed to open to foot traffic in 2019 and was designed to connect the school to the Sweetwater neighborhood, home to more than 4,000 FIU students. MIT says nuclear fusion is only 15 years away. Nuclear fusion could just be around the corner. Researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, working with a newly formed private company, say they will build a working fusion power plant in 15 years thanks to a new superconducting material that recently became commercially available. The material is a new superconducting steel tape coated with a yttrium barium copper oxide. The team, working with MIT spin-off Commonwealth Fusion Systems, plans to use the tape to make smaller, more powerful magnets that can be used in fusion reactors. The new magnets will double the magnetic field of a fusion reactor, which means more power can be produced with a smaller device. The smaller size will reduce costs and complexity, making future fusion power plants easier to construct. Limitless clean energy? But what about beautiful clean coal? Flying taxi gets Kiwi go-ahead for trials. Traffic jams may soon be a thing of the past in New Zealand. Cora, an autonomous flying vehicle by Silicon Valley firm Kitty Hawk, has been approved for trials in Christchurch, New Zealand. The all-electric aircraft takes off vertically, similar to a helicopter. It can carry 2 people. Cora can fly at speeds of over 150 kilometers per hour and operates autonomously. The aircraft also has a travel range of over 100 kilometers.
According to New Zealand publication Stuff, it's hoped that Cora will operate commercially in New Zealand within 3 to 6 years. So, would you ride Cora?